let's get started with introductions. First off, I just want to thank everybody for being here, and Natasha, and those of you that stepped up and took positions you weren't sure about, because we're a crazy bunch. We appreciate it. And we appreciate David, Lindsay, and Jim for all the work that they do behind the scenes that we don't see. So thank you guys. And I don't know, and Kendall needs to introduce her new person.
Do you want me to start?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, exciting. Okay, so Kendall Nagy with Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition, and then I have Haley here with us.
Hello.
Haley. Hi, Haley.
Hi.
And you're going to be doing what?
I'm going to be the new Anti-Drug Coalition Coordinator.
Ooh, cool. That is awesome. And I guess since we've got somebody new, those of us that are here should introduce ourselves and tell Haley where we're from. I'm Rose Sheff, and I am the chair now out of default, whatever. Anyway, I'm the chair of CCI, and I am a certified prevention specialist, but I'm also a community health worker in Chalice, Idaho, which is in the middle of nowhere. So welcome, Haley. David.
My name is David Phillips. I am the executive director for CCI, and I'll be working with you really closely because I'm also the faith sector rep for MADC. So
sounds good.
Natasha and Kelly.
Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm Natasha Needham. I'm the activity coordinator for Clearwater Youth Alliance in Orfino, Idaho, and I'm also the co-chair for CCI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kelly Cummins-Brumley, and I am the DFC grant coordinator for Clearwater Youth Alliance.
David.
Hi, I'm David Roth. I am the executive director of the Bonneville Youth Development Council in Idaho Falls. I'm also the treasurer of CCI, and I lead the legislative committee now, or legislative subcommittee. I live in Idaho Falls. I think I already said that. So,
yeah. Lindsay.
Yeah, I'm Lindsay Bailey. I'm CCI's program coordinator, and I am in Cassia County. So,
woohoo. Marco.
Marco Erickson with Community Youth in Action. Very busy guy, but hold a lot of hats. I'm the Region 7 rep for CCI.
Cool. Are we missing anybody?
there's quite a few people that still haven't introduced themselves.
Susie.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Susie Starks. I'm with the Idaho State Elks Association, and I also am a master trainer for TIPS.
One of our partners. Thank you.
Yeah, she's one of our partner members.
Mm-hmm. Partner members.
Yes, I am.
So you call them out because I can't see everybody, David.
How about let's go with Danielle.
Hey everyone, Danielle Finopoulos. I am the Corporate Director of Outreach for North Point Recovery, and I'm a new member of CCI. David, remember what seat I'm in?
Networking, the networking and communication subcommittee chair.
Yep, and it's my first one, so I'll get that down by the next one.
Welcome, welcome.
Emma.
Hi guys. So I am the project coordinator for Partnership for Success in Region 1 through Panhandle Health District.
Grace.
Hi, sorry, I have my camera off because I'm just hanging out on my couch today because it's a Monday and that's how we do it in the summer. My name is Grace Wilkowski. I'm a certified prevention specialist as well. I'm the Region 1 representative here, and I'm the executive director for Idaho Drug Free Youth.
And our Region 1 rep. Jim.
Hello, I am Jim Hopla, an evaluator for CCI, and I also am in the middle of finals, and it's not fun being in finals in the middle of summer. So,
thanks, Jim. Keely?
Hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm the Partnership for Success Coordinator for Region 2.
Thank you for being here. Leah?
Hi, I'm Leah Kalk. I'm the director of the Idaho Radar Center.
Nancy?
Hi, everybody. Nancy Schmidt. I'm the Region 1 coordinator for the Idaho Lives Project.
Thanks for joining us today. Tara?
Hi, everyone. Tara Woodward, and I am the project coordinator of the PFS grant out of Southwest District Health.
Awesome. Patrick?
Yeah, hi there, Patrick Connor. I am the Southwestern Idaho Regional Coordinator for the Idaho Lives Project. So I cover health districts 3 and 4.
Thank you. We have a phone number ending in 2345. Who's that?
It's Tony from Kootenai County Substance Abuse Council.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, David.
Let's see. I think that's everybody. Did we miss anybody?
This
All right,
is
hearing-
Mallory.
Oh, sorry, Mallory. That's
It's okay.
right.
I'm from Eastern Idaho Public Health. I coordinate the Partnership for Success program here.
Thanks, Mallory. All right, I think that's everyone, Rose.
Well, thanks everyone for coming on a Monday in the middle of our very short summer. I think we'll probably just have a couple of weeks the way the weather's been going. So welcome, Community Coalitions of Idaho. Our mission is to support community coalitions' efforts to prevent youth substance abuse in Idaho. And our vision, safe and healthy Idaho communities free of substance abuse. So we're all committed and it's a great thing. We need to approve the consent agenda. Right, David? Am I doing
Yeah,
this
does
right?
anybody have any thing they want to discuss out of it, or can we get a motion and a second to approve it?
I'll motion to approve or move forward with the consent agenda.
This is David. I'll second.
Thank you very much. So has everyone had a chance to look at the June meeting minutes that Lindsay sent out?
Yes.
Thank you. So, if everyone's had a chance to look at it, are there any suggested changes, additions, anything that needs to be fixed on the June meeting minutes?
I just have one little tiny thing that I noticed, and it just still says agenda at the top of the meeting minutes, just for future. I know we've got transitions and new processes being figured out.
So we just need to delete that. So I would entertain a motion to accept the June meeting minutes with the corrections.
This is Kendall. I make a motion.
Thanks, Kendall. Second?
This is David. I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? At this point, you better not, because we want to get through this agenda. So David, you're going to talk about our finances. Do we need to approve that? Because Lindsay sent out the financial information along with the minutes. So
we are getting used to new processes like Rose said. So for the last year, we have been adding the minutes and the financial report to the consent agenda, and unless there was a reason to pull either item, we were approving them together. So did anybody have any questions about the financial report? There was a lot on it because we're finally getting a chance to spend through our budget categories and get people. We've actually started, staff is traveling seriously traveling for one of the first times since I've been here for the last couple of years. and we're getting out to our coalitions. But did anyone have any questions about the financial report? So I believe Marco and David are the ones who approved the consent agenda, so that would cover both the financial report and the meeting minutes. So
Sorry, I got confused.
no, that's fine.
I am old, you know. I mean, these things happen when you're a certain age.
Well, you haven't run one of these meetings since I got hired.
No, it's true. So I am really excited that we have representation from the Idaho Lives Project, and we have Allie here is going to talk about it, and that'll be fun. And so go for it, Allie.
Awesome. Can I share my screen?
Please.
Yep, right now I gave you permission.
Perfect, thank you. I also have some of my co-workers on here. So hi, Nancy and Patrick.
Thank you for attending.
Yeah, so I just will do a brief overview of kind of the Idaho Lives Project. David reached out to me, gosh, several months ago, and I wasn't able to come on and present until today. So we are the Idaho Lives Project. We are a partnership between the Idaho State Department of Education and the Department of Health and Welfare. And our focus is youth suicide prevention. And so today we're just going to kind of go over all of the services we offer and the trainings we offer to inform you all of who the Idaho Lives Project is and what resources are in your state regarding youth suicide prevention. So this is just how we're funded. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we got started in 2013 with a federal grant called the Garrett Lee Smith Grant. When that grant sunsetted, it was the first time that Idaho State actually picked up funding for youth suicide prevention. So since 2016, we have been funded by the state to provide youth suicide prevention services. In 2020, we received another award for the Garrett Lee Smith Grant, and that actually increased our efforts to aid youth up to age 24. So it kind of expanded our focus of youth from school-age youth to now college-age youth as well. And then also in 2020, we received a federal grant for the Project Aware grant, which is the project I manage. And it's a behavioral health grant to bring in behavioral health resources to 3 rural school districts. So it's not statewide, but my focus is kind of on behavioral health integration within these 3 rural schools. So kind of going over the umbrella of services the Idaho Lives Project offers. Before we get into that, I'll share our team. So we are kind of broken up by but in different kind of regions. So we have our state funded programs. And so these are the individuals that are part of those state funded programs and implement those services and resources. So on the call today, actually, we have our Northern Idaho Regional Coordinator Nancy and our Southwestern Regional Coordinator Patrick. We also have a Southeastern Regional Coordinator Denny, and she kind of oversees all of the 5, 6, and 7 health districts. So these are how our districts are broken up. So Nancy oversees regions or districts 1 and 2. Patrick oversees districts 3 and 4. And then, as I said, Jenny oversees 5, 6, and 7. We also have our GLS team, and a lot of GLS services are combined with our state services. So we'll go over that, but these are who work in that realm of the Idaho Lives Project, and then the Aware Project. So these are our how we evaluate our services and resources. So we have several contracts with different universities. University of Rochester oversees and evaluates all of our sources of strength, suicide prevention fundamentals instruction, which is a Gatekeeper training we provide, as well as Gizmo, which is a elementary an elementary curriculum for mental health. And then Idaho State University oversees a variety of other services. So BPA Health, we have a contract with them to provide services, which we'll get into in a little bit. They also oversee our contract with this Idaho Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is now the Idaho Suicide and Crisis Hotline, sources of strength, and then a variety of other things that we measure. And for Project Aware, we have contracted with the University of Kansas Swift Center to evaluate all of our programs and resources. So we offer a variety of trainings for school personnel, school and kind of communities, as well as community organizations that serve youth, so up to age 24. So we offer suicide prevention fundamentals instruction gatekeeper training, which is, depending on the format and depending on the audience, can be either an hour to 2.5 hours, and we can facilitate this virtually or in person. It is a very exhaustive, I guess I would say, suicide prevention training. It goes into a lot of depth related to prevention, intervention, and postvention, whereas most gatekeepers just focus kind of on that intervention realm. So it's very in-depth. It's focused on Idaho populations, which is also makes it unique to Idaho that we focus kind of on Idaho population when we discuss that. So that's one of the trainings we offer. We also have contracted with QPR to provide free virtual, or I guess online trainings of QPR. So it's a self-paced training that you can take virtually. We also offer a variety of trainings, like on a monthly or pretty much on a monthly basis. One of the trainings is a non-suicidal self-injury training provided by one of our co-workers, Jessica, who's a clinician. And so that's a 1-hour virtual training. We also, through our regional coordinators, they provide a training on sources of strength, which really sources of strength, I'll get to in just a minute, is a evidence-based upstream suicide prevention program. And actually research has shown that it moves beyond just suicide prevention, and it actually prevents a whole host of different risky behaviors. So we also consider it a wellness program that we implement in schools all across Idaho. But our regional coordinators provide a Sources 101 training to our sources schools, and that is a 1-hour virtual training. We also provide sources of strength trainings to our schools who apply for it via our grant. And so that's another training we offer, but we also offer a mini sources or a sources introductory training for youth organizations interested in learning about sources of strength. So this is a 1 to 2 hour in-person training that we provide. All of our trainings are free of cost to individuals. And so if you are interested in learning more about sources of strength, we can, calendarize mini sources or sources introductory training to kind of explain more about sources of strength. And then finally, our last training that we offer also to the community is called Think Strength. And it's really a combination of the Gatekeeper training and the sources introductory training. And so that training can be facilitated virtually or in person and can last anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours. So these are our trainings. And now we'll talk more about our services that we provide. So feel free to, I guess, jump in the chat if you have any questions. I'm going through this fast because I only have like 15 minutes. So let me know if you have any questions or want more information. With the addition of the Garrett Lee Smith grant awarded in 2020, we have established annual clinical trainings for clinicians related to assessing and treating suicide risk in patients. And so we bring in the amazing Dr. David Redd, who is nationally acclaimed, and he trains clinicians on how to treat and assess student or clients who are suicidal. And so this is a great training. We offer anywhere from 3 to 4 trainings annually. And usually this occurs in the springtime. So around March, April is when this training will take place. So if you're interested in attending that training or sharing that training, feel free to go to our website, idaholives.org, and you will find updates about that training. We also provide an annual grant or an annual application for elementary and secondary schools to provide training and support to them. So this is our Sources of Strength application is one of the suicide prevention programs that schools can request to receive. And we have offered elementary in the past. Currently, in this next fiscal year, we are offering Sources Elementary again, but it's not something guaranteed that we will continue to offer. Secondary programs and Sources of Strength is something that will always be offered with every grant year. So as I said, we do offer elementary through secondary training on suicide prevention. One of the programs that we offer is Sources of Strength. At the elementary level, it is delivered as a curriculum. So teachers and school staff are trained in how to deliver that curriculum, and they do that on a weekly basis. And then at the secondary level, it's more of a program rather than a curriculum. So we train youth and adults to detect and respond to suicide risk, but we also train them to message positively about suicide prevention, mental health, any kind of risk factors that come up in school. So it's a wonderful training. As I said earlier, it's an upstream. So we really focus on the preventative aspect rather than solely on the intervention. We want to work upstream and instill this education in youth about what are protective factors, how do we help, and kind of focusing on the positive rather than the negative. Not to say that focusing on the intervention and getting help when help is needed isn't important, but it's not the primary focus of Sources of Strength secondary programs. So we train schools to message about protective factors and resiliency through this training, and then they have these ongoing meetings and these ongoing messages throughout their school that are hope-based, positive, and upstream. And then we offer through our regional coordinators follow-up and reintegration, or I'm sorry, not through our regional coordinators, through BPA Health, a contract with BPA Health and Idaho Lives Project. We have hired through BPA Health 7 regional clinical case managers. So these individuals provide support to youth who have made a suicide attempt or have such severe suicidal ideation that it has caused a disturbance in their school, in their work life, or in their community in some way. So it could be their family as well. So we have hired clinicians to come out and provide case management services to these youth and their families to help them reintegrate back into community, whatever that looks like for school or for work. And these services are free. These clinical case managers can also provide suicide risk assessments if there are no financial means for them to receive this assessment anywhere else. And these clinical case managers also provide a support group for adults age 18 or older who have attempted suicide. So they have various tasks. We also, through the Idaho Aware Project, have created an Idaho School Mental Health website that has a variety of resources that are kind of state-based. There are some local resources on there, but it really promotes that safe, consistent, and positive learning environment for all students. And it shows, it helps integrate behavioral health into the school realm. We also provide scholarships to local and statewide conferences. So if you're interested in attending a conference, we share out kind of that opportunity for scholarship registration. So be on the lookout for that. You can also look at the Idaho Lives Project website for information on that. And as I mentioned, our clinical case managers provide that peer-to-peer suicide attempt survivor support group for young adults. We also, since our primary population that we work with is schools, we also provide postvention support. So if there is any sudden death that is experienced within a school community, our team activates and we go out and provide support to any sudden death, whether it's suicide, accident, it doesn't matter. We are there to provide support. We also promote safe messaging guidelines for schools and media sources related to suicide prevention. And we cover that in our suicide prevention gatekeeper. We also focus a lot on suicide prevention policies, protocols, practices, and messaging. So we have a lot of resources on our website. We're currently revamping it, so it'll be a little bit, I think, more user-friendly here in the near future. But all of our policies and protocols related to prevention, intervention, and postvention are on our website and there for schools and communities to access if you're interested. We have also developed a suicide safer model policy that helps schools identify what their policy is for intervening in a suicide or preventing suicide, or in the aftermath of a suicide. What do we have in place? Through our DLS grant, we also have university and college grants to support suicide prevention on campus. And so we have actually University of Idaho just received this grant last year, and they implemented sources of strength at the collegiate level, and they have done amazing things through that grant. So sorry, I was just looking at the chat. Looks like my colleagues got it under control. And then, as I said, those youth suicide assessments are provided by our clinical case managers. So when other financial resources are unavailable, those individuals can provide those suicide assessments. A little bit of information about the Idaho Aware Project. Again, our services only are primarily only serving these 3 school districts. So Glenns Ferry, Kimberly, and Marsing school districts are the recipients of the Aware grant and services. And this is what we provide. So we provide professional development. Each of our school districts are receiving PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports framework within each school district. And so that's really hoping to embed behavioral health within the academic world. Because that's such a huge undertaking, we offer on-site technical assistance. We also ask that our school districts produce community outreach events every year to share kind of the work they're doing, as well as collaborate between behavioral health within the community. Of course, we're a grant, so we have evaluation and data analysis that we have to do. So we have a lot of data collection that we do for the grant. And then one amazing thing about this grant is we provide a full-time on-site mental health clinician to each of our school districts. So they have a behavioral health provider in the school providing services to their students and their families. And then we offer a variety of resources to our schools. But we also have a community kind of portion of our work that we do. So we provide free professional development and training. So we also work with the Idaho Lives Project and getting Dr. David Redd to come out. We also provide free registration to the Idaho Prevention and Support Conference hosted by the State Department of Education every year. And then we also offer a variety of other different trainings. We just offered we are just contracted to provide a PREPARE training, which is a crisis intervention training for schools. So We offer a variety of different kind of professional development and behavioral health related trainings at the community level. Within our school communities and their greater communities, we offer two groups, a community collaborative group, which really just talks about what does mental health promotion look like in your community. And then we also provide a parent education and support group for parents who are caregiving for a youth with a mental health concern to receive support and guidance. So we provide that. And then we also partner with the Idaho Prevention, or we also partner with Idaho school psychologists, school counselors, and school social worker associations to produce the Stronger Together conference. And that's a virtual and in-person conference that is hosted annually in October. So if you're interested in attending that, feel free to put that in the chat and I can share the conference flyer with you. All right, I feel like I was talking super fast and hopefully didn't waste too much time or go over too much of my time, but this is how you contact us. We have an Instagram and Facebook page. We are through the State Department of Education. So if you are interested in mailing us anything, that is their address. And our website is right there, idaholives.org.
That is awesome information. At one time, Custer County and Chalice years and years ago had the highest per capita suicide rate in Idaho. Everybody has guns here, and you know, and our counselors at the school wouldn't address the situation because they said, well, then it'll get the kids thinking about suicide. And I said, they're already thinking about suicide.
Yeah. Oh,
so
well,
thank you for this information, and hopefully everyone will share it. We'll share it with their schools because we need all the help we can get with our kids.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you have any questions, I think you're in good hands. Both Patrick and Nancy are on the call, and it sounds like they attend meetings. So if you have any questions in the future, they are definitely the ones to reach out to.
Absolutely. That was awesome. And we really appreciate your time and your presentation.
Can we
I
get
don't know
that a
how
flyer
other-
for the,
Yeah.
can we get the flyer for your conference so we can add that to the email that we send out with the minutes?
Absolutely. I can try and drop it in the chat right now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great info. So, David. I think
Okay.
you're on the agenda.
So we wanted to recap the law enforcement training that we had in Boise in June. I want to thank everybody who came out. Thank our vendors, which was the first time for CCI at one of our trainings to have vendors there. It was I heard a lot of really good feedback on that component. We did have some draft stickers come back from a conversation about what it looks like statewide for the whole alcohol to go concept, and looking more closely at what that's going to look like moving forward, as it doesn't seem like any of the COVID stuff is going to be laxed. So I want to make sure that that doesn't come back to bite us in the butt later in the future. So I'm having another meeting with Tribute Media to kind of share some of the responses that we got from sending out those draft stickers. But if you didn't get a chance to send us something, feel free to email me or Lindsay, and we will add your information into the conversation that we have with Tribute Media. I want to thank everybody for sharing their input. We got a lot of really good input. You know, there were some things that didn't land as well for some people as it did for others, and we wanted to hear that. The constructive criticism is good because it helps us make future trainings and conferences that much better, because we'll make sure that we're providing what you guys need and not things that are unnecessary for the membership. So did anybody have anything they wanted to add about the law enforcement training before we move on?
I really enjoyed it. I would add, just from an administrative point of view, if you have a complaint about something or concerns about something, please let us know and please give us a possible solution or input. I don't mind taking constructive criticism if you've got something to add that would help us do a better job. That's just me, but I think that's important.
I would just like to say, David, that I thought it was excellent. I was only able to attend one day, but Brad Doty gave me personally a lot of information that I needed.
Was good.
Yeah, those opportunities to network with our other statewide partners in this field. I think that's very important, and that was amazing. So yeah, that was I agree. I got a lot out of that too. So
And we were there as a vendor, and Kristen wanted to thank everyone. She said it was really collaborative and engaging, which was great. From a vendor point of view, we don't get that often, so she really enjoyed that side of it.
That's good to know.
It's great to have vendors saying that they got something out of our workshop or conference that they have not gotten out of others too. So that, like I said, there was a couple of couple of comments that said that they didn't like certain things about the conference, but they were just more helping us learn from experiences they had. I think one of them was voiced at the during our workshop session. They said they didn't get really much out of the alcohol workshop session because they're not dealing with too much alcohol to go anymore. And then efforts that they have used to spend on creating awareness, stickers and materials have not landed right. So they had an experience. And so it's good to see that others have had experiences where they have not found success, because I want to go back and learn from those people who have not had success and make sure that we're not making the same mistakes that they made to not be successful. So I'm all good. Give me the constructive criticism, give me all the compliments. It's all good. So
I really enjoyed the probation officer from McCall. I had a hard time hearing her. It would be, she needs to speak louder. Other than that, it was great.
Yeah, and a lot of you in Region 2 are going to be happy that the Fall Prevention Conference is coming together really nicely, and a lot of you won't have to do much traveling, if any at all. So I know Grace said she can't wait to attend the next one. Next one's October 3rd and 4th, so put it on your calendar. And it's a really, we're getting ahead of schedule finally. We finally found our footing, and we're planning these things out to where we're not stepping on other conferences' toes so much. And everything is, you guys should see ability to start registering for your room blocks and stuff. We're looking right after we get done with our DFC reports in August. So we're well ahead of the schedule, and we're already starting to talk about fall for next year. So I'm loving that we're finally ahead of schedule and we're doing things the way it should be done. But it's a lot of it was just staff getting their footing and trying to do the work of 50 people. So
yeah, absolutely. Really quickly before we move on, I just had someone ask in the chat where they could see those stickers ideas. They went out on our monthly newsletter, so you can see them there, or if you want a personal copy of them, I can always email that over to you. So I answered them, but I wanted to answer the group just in case someone else had the same question.
And really thankful that Lindsay she's very good at the things that I don't like, especially the newsletter thing. She picked up the newsletter without much direction from me at all. So super happy there. But yes, go back to the newsletter. It was just supposed to go to our website, and you can see all of the previous newsletters that Chloe put together, the ones that Lindsay has put together. But in the most recent one, yeah, you can see the examples of the stickers there. So if you haven't, go grab the newsletter off the website and check those out. And if you have any feedback, we'd love to hear it. And thank you, Kendall, for putting your feedback in the chat as well. All right, moving on. So the CC mini grant applications, we have approved. Salmon did some strategic planning with John Baronic. Lapway, they did they're installing for this coming school year vape detectors in their school. MADC is in the middle of completing a project to put together some really cool parent information handbooks. I guess Kendall had all this information that was kind of from different sources, and with the mini grant, they're using that money to have Tribute Media put that all into one resource that they can use in their parent training programs, which is amazing. BYDC had Ray Lozano out last couple weeks ago, right at the end of June, I believe, about to do a workshop for parents, and then did a youth workshop the following day. Both workshops I was there for, and they both went really well. And the youth one was really cool because the kids are super engaged, so that was neat. 2C DFC is using theirs to offset funds to bring Jermaine Galloway out in the fall. And the goal is to make sure that we have a community scan in that region 3 where it touches Ontario, Oregon. So he'll be, from what we've heard, community scan will be a part of him coming out. So we're excited to see what a community scan looks like for that region of Idaho, being so close to so many dispensaries. Idaho Drug for Youth, looks like they had a really great camp this year. We funded some speakers and some other opportunities for them to have content for their youth. And the only one that we've had approved, but I'm waiting to hear back from Dee Phillips on, is Yakima Call. They're asking for us to help them with their Planet Youth program. There is still money in this. I believe we approved 12, and we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that have been approved. I know that Orfino, I haven't given yours to the committee yet. I'm sorry, things with mid-year got kind of crazy, but I know that Orfino has put in an application. But if anybody else has a program that would be looking for some funding, is a $3,000 mini grant. So let us know. We will send, I think we'll send out that application with the minutes again, just so everybody has it if they haven't had a chance to expend those money. And Susie, BYDC, Bonneville Youth Development Council in Idaho Falls, they had Ray out for a parent thing and then a youth thing the following day. And I got a chance to go to lunch with Ray. I hadn't seen him since I left California, so that was kind of cool.
He said to tell you hi, by the way. I just saw him this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions about the mini grants?
David, this is Kendall. Just one quick question. Do you know if that's going to be offered again next year, or is that just contingent upon carryover funds for you guys?
Good question. So we're doing a lot better this funding year than we have in the past. Next year is our 5th year, so we will, if the membership, so wants us to, and I'm sure you will, because this is how we fund a lot of what we do. We will be applying for 6 through 10. Marco is working on some state funding that might be able to help make securing these massive, difficult grants a little less imperative. But moving forward, we're not ready. I don't think we're having, we're going to need to apply for that. So we're looking at this year, I'm projected to only have $20,000 in carryover, which sounds like a lot, but is not a lot in the grand scheme of where CCI has been with their spending. So I anticipate not needing that money for some of, because like we did a website redesign, bought a new computer for the executive director, things like that. Those expenses I won't have. So I'm anticipating some grant program next year. I'm just not quite sure the total dollar amount and what that will look like. So
okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about the mini grants? Okay, so I do have something that changed, and I was hoping to get a vote on changing. So because of inflation and everything, the cost of everything, the federal government has increased the rate that we reimburse for mileage from 58 cents to 62 cents. So before I started changing the rate, I wanted to, I felt like it was important to ask the membership if we could make that change and then get a motion and a second and an approval to change the amount of money that we're reimbursed per mile, because that will be imperative coming up for October, and as well as spending that $7,000 of carryover that we're still working on spending for staff travel. So
I make a motion that we change the mileage from 58 cents to 62 cents to match with IRS.
This is David. I second that motion.
awesome. Is there any discussion?
No, I
All
wish
in
it was
favor?
more. I just wish it was more.
Well, we appreciate yeah, I'm sure,
Yeah.
you know, I know me, Lindsay, and those of us who do the traveling, I know we appreciate any increase. I know it's not going to match the fact that Idaho seems to be the only state not lowering our gas prices lately, but whatever. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Awesome, thank you guys. So moving on, I did briefly touch on this. The Fall Prevention Conference is really coming together quite nicely. We did start booking out more of what will be happening that following week with Stevens from Speak Sobriety. He will be going throughout some of our coalitions on the west side of the state and doing some presentations. I really appreciate the approval for the spending. We have given an $8,000 down payment on that spending. So all the travel's been booked and everything, and I'm starting to have conversations with the University of Idaho and our different coalitions on getting all of those other speaking opportunities done afterwards. We are going to have Dr. Ryan Holbert is going to bring his prevention board game that he's developed. He did introduce it to some of the members at our law enforcement conference, and it went really well. So he's coming out to speak, to present the game and talk more about it. And our plan is he's going to bring enough games where we can break up into groups and you guys can actually play the game. And we have we put out a call for presenters, and we've got tons of people reaching out asking if they can present. So if anybody does have any ideas that they would like to see, please send those emails to us this week, because me and Chloe will be going over. Did I say
Lindsay? It's Lindsay. It's Lindsay this week. Okay.
I've been called much worse things. I'll be called Chloe any day.
Okay.
It's my fault. I talked to Chloe last week, so it was my fault. Me and Lindsay will be meeting on Friday to start filling in the gaps and everything. I know Nancy, you guys have done some trainings for us. If Idaho Lives Project would like to do something, please let us know what you would like to do. We are having Stephen Hill come out from Speak Sobriety, and he's coming out to do two keynotes, one with his father. So he's going to talk about being a youth who is in use, and then his father's going to talk about being a parent of having 4 kids, 1 who's addicted and 3 who are not, and the struggles that went through. And then Stephen's going to do a follow-up presentation the following day about what we can do to better support our youth when it comes to them falling into substance abuse. So if you guys have something, I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with Sources of Strength. I've heard a lot about it when we first started out, but whatever you guys think might fit into that framework of supporting because these are going to be based around the providers, supporting providers as they're dealing with difficult situations within their communities. I'd be more than happy to see what you guys have to offer. Also, I have been speaking with Brian Fretwell from, I believe it's Finding Good. He was the last minute keynote replacement for a young lady who was supposed to speak at the State Department of Education's prevention conference this year. And I was like, oh man, I really wanted to hear from her. But after hearing Brian's keynote, I was like, this is amazing. And now I follow him on social media, and really some of his tactics and approaches to developing conversations that we can have with our kids, with our community, with those who are struggling. I use those in my home now with my own teenagers. So he and I are having a conversation about having him come out and speak. So really we're looking to provide tools and applications that our prevention providers can use to bring back to their communities. That's the kind of the framework of this fall prevention conference. So like I said before, we will have your guys' ability to apply for those scholarships for hotel stay and travel. I'm looking to give you guys a chance to get through your DFC reporting process, those of us who are DFCs. And then after that, the last couple weeks of August, you're going to see stuff where you can start getting that stuff signed in. Like I said, we're way ahead of schedule now, and we're already talking about the spring, which I'm loving, because that means I have time to do it right and not feel like I'm chasing my tail 24/7. Did anybody have any questions about October? Okay.
David,
Right,
you
now I want
to so hard on yourself. You are very, very good at what you do, and we appreciate you.
Well,
Ditto.
thank you, Natasha.
I would agree. Put up with a lot the last few years. A lot of changes going on with every group like ours. So, David, subcommittee reports.
You want to talk about any possible edits to the bylaws
Yes.
and how we're going to deal with that, Rose?
Yes, I forgot. Thank you. This last year, we deleted the secretary position from CCI. I was opposed to that, but we ended up voting that position out. I would really like to see that position come back. I know that Lindsay does the minutes and stuff, but the secretary position, I think, is a very important part of the executive board. And I would really like to see that the bylaws change to reflect that we actually have a secretary. So I'm not sure how we do that, David, but that's my opinion. I would like to see that position reinstated.
Rose, why was that position eliminated? What was the reasoning behind that?
I'm still not 100% sure.
The reason that was given was, since the secretary doesn't have any actual, wasn't doing the minutes, that why do we have a position? We could say the same thing about the treasurer position, because we have an accountant that deals with our money. So, I mean, David, I send David stuff, but he really doesn't have anything day to day to do with the financial part. Me and the accountant handle a bulk of that. The problem, the upside to having a secretary is there's someone that can help Lindsay prepare the minutes. With her being so new, she has been learning a lot of processes really quickly. She has been catching on, so I'm more than happy there, but it would be nice to have some help for her. And then too, it's just literally, if it wasn't for the subcommittees being part of the board would basically consist of 3 people. So I feel like having more, it's always, I would always lean towards having more support on the leadership side to make sure that we're not missing anything. And I think the way that we would deal with making those changes, I think we would need to schedule a board meeting to look at the bylaws and draft those changes and then bring them back to the following membership meeting to share those with the membership and go, because we don't have anybody chairing the internal organization committee anymore. So we don't even have that person to fall back on.
I agree.
Are we in a position to entertain a motion to reinstate that in the bylaws? I am not always politically correct, as you all know. So I will take advice in this area, please.
I
David?
think that technically we have to give notice for a change to the bylaws. So I
Okay.
think that what we could do is in this meeting, we could move that we would like to make that change and that we would like to decide it at the next monthly board meeting. Then that way it goes out on the agenda, it goes out in the minutes, and then we've provided notice. And then next month we could actually vote to make that change.
Well, that works for me. I don't want to mess things up in the, politically correct, whatever.
So I would move that we add to the agenda for next month that we would like to reinstating that position.
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, you two. And thanks, David, for reminding me. I don't know what I would do without you. I'd screw up. That's what I do. It's just what I do. Okay, so we'll put that on the agenda next month, and everyone that gets the newsletter in the minutes, the minutes and the agenda will see that, and they won't have any excuse for us not reinstating the position. So
You want to complete that motion and ask for
all in favor of the motion to put the reinstating the secretary on next month's agenda, right?
Aye.
Yep.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, we're good.
David, I think she froze.
I think she did too. She's been having to come in and out a couple times. So moving forward, subcommittee reports. These will probably be quick because I don't know if anybody has met over the summer. We don't have workforce development. Was going to be Shannon. She didn't. Shannon McGuire is stepping down from her role with Yak and McCall. I'm not. I know she sent out an email. I'm not quite sure who she sent that email out to. So we do not have anybody for that subcommittee. So if you are interested in that subcommittee, please let me know. That is an important subcommittee. That one basically helps us forward plan on our monthly workshops, and then our the mini trainings that we have during the meeting, like the Idaho Lives Project today, and coalition spotlights, things like that. So basically it's kind of like sets up a bunch of warm leads for the staff to go ahead and close up and set things up for throughout the year. And when Charlene and Rebecca were on this committee, they really had us ahead 5 to 6 months ahead of time. So it was very smooth. It was a lot smoother than it currently is right now without someone in that role. So if anybody is interested, Grace, wink, wink.
I knew you were talking about me and I want to do it so bad. So yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah. I love workforce development. That's like kind of my thing. Well, everything's my thing because I'm easily excited, but.
So
which is good. That's a good thing.
I did warn
young whippersnapper, right?
I warned her that we signed her up for something at the last conference, but I said, you weren't there, so we volunteered.
I'll always say yes. I'm a yes man.
Can we get a motion to accept Grace to this role?
I motion to accept Grace to this role.
I second.
All in favor? Yeah.
Aye.
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 Awesome.
We'll be reaching out to
David?
you. Do you have time? Do you have time on Friday to meet with Lindsay and I?
I have a meeting at 11 o'clock your guys' time, but besides that, yep.
but we were planning on getting together at 10 o'clock, so maybe we could jump in that meeting, and then if you have to jump out, then we can you can just slide out of there. But okay, so Lindsay, can you add Grace to that meeting you're setting up?
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
Awesome. Okay, next one is, we do not have internal organization subcommittee. That is one that dealt with policies and procedures and bylaws and stuff like that. So if anybody is interested in getting more into the nitty gritty of what we do and how we do it, feel free to speak up or send an email.
Isn't that really like an executive board type of a thing, internal organization? And I'm just wondering.
I would agree. I mean, just to get this, to work out the changes to the bylaws for the secretary position, the board will have to get together to make those changes. So
right,
we can talk about at the board meeting whether we want to close that committee, and then we can bring that recommendation to the membership at the August meeting if you want to.
I think so. We don't want to wear everybody out, and if that's something that ultimately the board has to determine, we might as well. I mean, that's just my thought, but we could maybe bring it up at the next board meeting, or the executive board could make a recommendation, right?
Okay.
All right.
Somebody have a
All right.
question?
I did, it cut out. So just to be clear for the minutes, you're saying that at August meeting that will bring up that the internal organization subcommittee may be disseminated, like gone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, did you want to share anything about the legislative committee? I know we haven't met, you guys haven't met since you came on last month, David.
Yeah, like I said, when I accepted that, I'm pretty absorbed at the moment. So we haven't met, and I don't anticipate we'll meet for at least another month or two.
I have a quick question relating to legislation. I was just wondering maybe if Marco's heard any rumbles about any kind of drug policy, since it's off season and this is typically when the work goes on at the forefront of the session.
I haven't heard any new things. I'm paying very close attention. We're just working, everybody's working right now on the change in the legislature. Since there's over 35 new members, they're really focused on relationship building with those new members. December 1st is the organizational meeting where they will pick the new Speaker of the House and leadership. And that's where everything changes, because that's when chairmen get picked. There's a high likelihood that I'll be chairman of health and welfare or in a leadership role there. So we won't have any issue blocking any marijuana legislation. I'm really trying to stack that committee already. I've been meeting with some legislators. My goal is to make sure that we've got the anti-marijuana people on that committee, so we overpower any other attempt to try to get it passed this time. So that's our goal.
I do know Marco and I would need to sit down, because we did want to talk about some of the bills that he wanted to introduce, and then I know Kendall, he and I were going to talk about that advertising bill, stopping the advertising of illegal substances here in Idaho. And I have been too, working with building relationships with new legislators that have recently come in that look like they're going to be slam dunk for their seat come November. So behind the scenes, that's what I've been doing, is just working with Marco on impending legislation, and then also that relationship building like he was talking about.
We've also got Scott Grove coming back most likely, so that's good news for us.
That's good. That's always good.
If you guys have anything you want to focus on, let David know, and we can work together and start some drafts. My focus is going to be on, I'm going to not carry it myself, but I'm going to help write the legislation for, some of the funding from the different sources to go into primary prevention. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully, we have 3 different big sources of funds. There's the new opioid settlement dollars, there's the Millennium Fund, and then we've got general fund dollars that could go into some stuff to sustain some of the prevention work. So that's kind of the hope, is to, and the liquor tax is the other funding source. So there's 3 sources of funds that are general funds, and Idaho just historically has put $0 into that. And I just think we have a support from the legislature. It's time to put our money where our mouth is and focus a little bit more heavily on prevention. So we're going to try to write some bills to move some of those funds our direction. Not to support our own pocketbooks, but really for statewide sustainability.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Marco. And I think if you look in the chat, you'll see a nice kudos from Kendall there. Networking and membership communication. That is Danielle. We haven't had a chance to meet yet. I think, Danielle, we need to pencil in some time to jump on a Zoom and go over some things. I know that behind the scenes, Lindsay has had a couple of meetings looking to grow our partnerships. One of them was, oddly enough, a law enforcement agency. What agency was that, Lindsay?
It's the Hebron Police Department. And they're meeting actually tomorrow to get the city's approval to join its membership. And then as of right now, I have 4 or 5 impending organizations that are hoping to join CCI. So over the next month, hopefully we'll meet with them. So yeah, Danielle, I would love to get on with you.
Exciting stuff. Yeah, our partners involved. Okay.
Sounds great.
Yep, it does. David, region representatives.
No, we do this differently. We found a fun way to do this, Rose. We're going to do the region rep, and then we're going to do the PFS coordinator, and then that way it doesn't seem to last forever.
Yeah, go for it. David, you want to run this?
Yeah. So, Grace, do you have anything to share about Region 1?
Sure. And Tanya, I'm so sorry we haven't connected. It's been just the craziest time. So IDFI held their youth summit. We had 130 plus participants, which is amazing considering it's been 2 years since we've had it. We did pre and post surveys for the first time in like 5 or 6 years, and we saw an increase in leadership skills, understanding of substance use, and community connection. So that's amazing. We also will be closing our youth advisory board applications on Friday, and we have right now every single district represented in that. So that's amazing. I know, I'm so excited, and all the people are just simply amazing. One is Marco's son, and I just love Ashton, so that makes me excited. And then we also have our Youth Vision applications for our ambassadors open, closing on Friday. We have some amazing people there. So our Youth Vision work is really going to take off and be more community-based. And hopefully we're hiring staff members. Most people don't know I'm IDFI. There's no other staff members. It's just me and my Chihuahua, and we run it from my apartment. So hopefully that will change, and then a lot more will be happening. IDFI's chapter programs will be launching in July, end of July. And IDA is coming back as well. So that's amazing. And if anyone wants to connect and support, like I said, I'm the only person that works here. So most of the things we create, I think are great, but that doesn't mean they're actually applicable. So if you have opinions on stuff, I love opinions. So yeah, Tanya, I'm sorry we haven't connected. Do you have anything to add? Okay, cool. Go, Emma.
Awesome.
I will second Grace. I got to attend the youth summit and do a little co-presentation. And so, yeah, it was wonderful to see all of the very excited youth there. So that was a wonderful thing to be a part of. In terms of programming for this summer, we're really focusing on building some physical resources for the fall, specifically with educators and counselors within the school districts. And so we're creating kind of similar to, I think, what David was talking about, a prevention resource guide. So we're taking all of the kind of preventative harm reduction, treatment, kind of recovery, all of those different organizations and putting them in one specific area in a printed guide that we're creating so that we can give those to organizations and specifically to schools, so that when there is a child or a family who is going through something, could be be substance use disorder, it could be they need suicide prevention resources. Everything will be in one guide, one printed guide to be able to hand to that family. So we're excited about that. We're also creating a guided journal. And that journal is going to also be in the hands of mental health professionals. I have a subcommittee that's been formed that is really using a mental health lens in which to create this guided journal. A lot of studies have shown that prevention in the areas of depression and anxiety can help with substance use, particularly in youth. And so we are putting a lot of effort forward. And again, a handhold tool resource that will be given to mental health counselors and school counselors so that they will be able to provide some evaluation and oversight with this tool. So we're really excited about that. Positive Action is moving forward in the region here as a parenting class, but we are going through probation offices. So we're going to be using that as the court mandated family parenting class starting in Bonner County, which is just a little bit north of Coeur d'Alene here. So we're really looking forward to that, as well as setting up some various trainings for these late September, beginning of October timeframe for teachers, advocates, and parents all around substance use and mental health. So that's what we're doing this summer.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see. Region 2, Kelly. You're muted.
So I'm actually going to turn my report over to Natasha because she's spent time with Lapway and Cameo recently, and she's the chief person that knows what we have planned. So.
Okay, so we took the kids to CADCA training in Boise. Really bummed we missed the other youth summit because I wished we could have done both. But while I was there, I talked with Lapaway and asked them how they were doing. I said that, Kelly had been trying to get a hold of them and see if there was anything they needed, how it was going. And I got a very quick, it's fine response. So that's all I can tell you about Lapway. I think they're doing okay. They brought several kids to the training. So we have a huge event coming up July 30th. This year is even bigger than last year's event. We started the Orfino Summer Night Out. And last year we had the fire department, ambulance, and a couple of booths. Just trying to build a place where everybody can get any resource they need for drug and alcohol prevention and treatment. We partner with First Step for Life that does the treatment end of things. And we had 2 people sign up for rehab last year. This year, we have even a huger amount of booths coming because people are like, oh, I want to get on board with that. So I think the event's going to be really, really big. And I'm super excited. We have a band coming out of Lewiston, and he is in recovery. So we have several people sharing their recovery stories. They're going to do a Narcan demonstration. I think it's just going to be a really awesome time for our community. Underage vaping seems to be like our biggest problem, and that's what our Youth Action Council kids want to tackle. They actually put together at this training in Boise a whole plan. And I brought that plan back to our city council and our police department, and they are implementing their solution, which is putting cameras under our bridge, which has a walkway. That's where all the kids are congregating to either marijuana vape pen or regular vapes. And they're putting cameras at the skate park, and they're going to start monitoring a couple of the stores that the kids said are easy access to get these vape pens from because they're not IDing. So we're pretty jacked that our community really got behind these kids. So for the first time, the kids are seeing, hey, it's working. We're making a difference. So super, super excited.
Awesome. You guys are doing a lot up there. Kaylee, you got anything?
Yeah, we're just starting our new grant year in July, so working a lot on scheduling more trainings for this upcoming year, ordering more prevention materials, that type of thing. Nothing too big happening this summer, though.
Summer can be a good time, summer can be a bad time. It all depends on where your partners are. Okay, Region 3. Was Jerry on today? I don't remember seeing if Jerry got on today. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay. Tara.
Hi. So, updates from Southwest District Health. Sorry if I've said any of this before. I don't think I have to this group. We're partnering with Grace and Idify to do youth vision. So some positive social norm messaging to youth in the region, which we're excited about. And then we're also doing a parent social marketing campaign through, we've created some stuff in-house and are having a digital marketing agency do some like geolocated parent targeted advertising online to get them to come to our website and then access some parenting resources related to talking to your kids about substances and all that good stuff, like learning educational opportunities. Other than that, we've had a couple of expert trainings in the past month or so, one with a federally qualified healthcare center and then one with a faith-based group. And we had some positive action for parents classes start in June. And then we also had a youth mental health first aid training with in the local organization here.
Cool. We do not have Region 4. Kendall, do you want to talk about what MADC has been doing? I think you're the Region 4 coalition here.
Sure, yeah. We had a lot of our summer events closing in this last month and completed those. And then we're working on a breathalyzer event at Meridian Speedway that's coming up at the end of the month, where we interact with race attendees and offer them education on recognizing impairment and breathalyzer results and where they are on that. So that's always a interesting, entertaining, and challenging booth night that we're out. And then really focusing on fall events, ordering supplies for Red Ribbon Week and securing our Recovery Day breakfast speaker, stuff like that.
What are you guys doing for Red Ribbon Week?
We have a whole list of resources that we offer to West Ada School District. It includes the canine demonstrations, speakers, where we have grant funds for Natalie Marty to speak to the Meridian middle schools for all school assemblies. And then we have bookmarks and red ribbons and posters that go out as well. Wristbands, we get some of that from Radar, partnering with them. We order some. And we also work with Susie at the Elks to get some of those resources as well. And we put them on one resource sheet and put that out to West Ada School District. And then they can send it to us and we'll meet those requests for resources.
Yeah, so don't forget about those partners, you guys, because we actually took some resources to Idaho Falls, grabbed some stuff from Radar and took it out to Idaho Falls for our booth, and it was really cool. So feel free, if you guys have any needs that you feel like you need met, please send them to me and Susie and Radar so that we can help fill those needs where we can. I know we did some, and Susie did some resource filling for a couple coalitions last year, but I'd like to see, if you got a need, let us know early so that we can make sure we get everything to you that we need.
And just
Thanks,
really
Kendall.
quickly, while that's kind of on the topic, I'll be sending out an email about, like, you guys have all these amazing resources and David and I want to attend them. So as you keep us informed, we are able to not only give you resources, but maybe even give ourselves to help out with those.
Thank you for that reminder. Okay, do we have a Region 4 PFS on the call? No, Tara's shaking her head. I know Marianne, let's see, nobody in Region 5. I know Marianne said she wasn't going to be able to make it. Did she give you anything to share?
She did email me. She is also helping with the police department here in town to try to get some stuff set up. So I'll share that. And then the only other thing she said, it says no particular updates to offer from June work other than the guided journals that we developed have been very popular. We shared a copy with you guys, I believe last month with them. She just says, she asks that if you guys do print it off, that they leave the South Central Public Health logo on top of the first page so that they get credit for developing it. But that's all she had.
Okay. Region 6. No rep, no region 6 rep. Chelsea's not on, right? No, okay. Marco, you want to give the Region 7 report?
Sure. I just want to say, echo what others have said about IDFI. We were up there. We had 20 youth from the whole region, from our Rigby kids and some from local communities and our normal kids from SIA. So it was exciting to be up there and have a good time. Also, we did meet some kids from Lapaway, so they did send some one way or another, because I had a couple in groups I worked with, so it was great to be up there and be a part of prevention work in Idaho. Our meeting for following up with all those kids, because we had 10 in Boise at the other training and then 20 at the IDFI, and tonight is our follow-up. We've given them a kind of a 2-week break, but we now have follow-up, and then the conversations start right now for our school year planning for the interventions for all the different schools that the kids are doing. So that's kind of what we're up to. We're also closing on a brand new building today, that not brand new, but brand new to us. We get this building for our new program we're creating. It's called SPARK, and it stands for Supportive Prevention and Resource Center. And that's just a part of a new grant that we received. And so it's right next door to our current SIA building. We own that building as of today at noon, and it's mortgage free, which is really awesome. So, and it's going to be a huge blessing to the community for a long time. But basically, they're going to be able to receive youth in a prevention tier and if they run away from home or if they've got trouble with school. And it's going to connect us a lot more to the prevention work in Idaho Falls and the surrounding region, all throughout this region. So we're starting heavily here, but we have a team of 5 people who are now full-time employees just to do that work and make referrals and try to keep the early interventions going with families. And so that's exciting. We're going to have law enforcement referring in hospitals and schools quite heavily to that program. And so that's a big one. We also, I know, we're just in that planning phase for the next few months, because it's summertime. We don't have a lot of youth programming going on directly. But I know that BYDC in Region 7 recently had an event with Ray Lozano. We sent some of our staff to have a booth there as well. And I guess if David's on, he can talk about that. You guys that were there, I was pre-engaged in another thing, so I wasn't able to make it. But those of you who were there can talk a little bit about that. That was a great community-wide effort. And then anything else, yeah, and we're just planning the rest of our summer right now, and then that's where we're at.
You want to talk about the Ray Lozano event, David? You're still on?
Jump off the call.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they had a resource event at what college was that?
College of Eastern Idaho.
There you go, College of Eastern Idaho. And a lot of vendors, and then I think they had about 20 youth at the following day at the Ray Lozano's presentation. I know they did another summer program, I believe last week, with another lady too. So they had a couple youth summer programs. I was able to hang out for about an hour or so before Ray got there and watch it, and they're just doing a lot of activities with the kids, all tying back to, you know, dealing with peer pressure and why we don't use different substances and stuff, but kind of engaging with fun activities that also help you learn, which I thought was really cool. So
yeah, they partnered with Idaho STEM Academy, I think is who it was for that.
It was neat to see their interns working with the kids, and it looked a lot of fun, and the weather wasn't super hot, so it was nice outside when they were playing the games. Mallory, you want to talk about all the things that you're responsible for out there in Region 7?
Yes, we've been really busy over here. Right now, we're doing a campaign, Lock, Monitor, Dispose. And so we've been doing that. We're doing radio ads, and we've had a lot of people contacting us for our medication lock boxes and Deterra drug deactivation pouches. So that's been going really well. We've partnered with the Chuckers to do stickers on their beer cups, and Marco and the youth at SIA have been great at helping us to get all those stickered. So that way, it's just that little think twice or pay the price, be the parent sticker on the beer cups. So kind of helps to give just another little reminder not to give alcohol to minors. We're also working with Alive After 5, which is it's a weekly event here in Idaho Falls that they have music and alcohol, and working with them to continue to promote no underage drinking. So that's been good. And then we were able to go to the Ray Lozano thing. Heather is our tobacco coordinator here. So Heather and I went, and that was great. Ray had a lot of really good points. And then coming up, we have a lot of summer events planned. Heather and I will be trying to go out to all of our counties, including Salmon, and just be able to get to them and share our different PFS resources.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're right up an hour, and I'm looking at this. I created this agenda this time. This is not Lindsay's fault. So there's a couple things on here that were from the previous agenda. So new funding opportunities. I wanted to once again point out that we still have many grant opportunities for those of you who have not applied for those opportunities. Trainings, we do have the Fall Prevention Conference, and then I just before jumping on here, I did get confirmation. We're gonna have so last fall we had to do our conference virtually because of COVID, and we got the one presentation that everyone had really positive things to say about and they wanted to hear more about. We didn't get to record, so I don't even have the presentation to share out. Ray Lozano is going to do a virtual workshop for us on substance abuse prevention and working with youth who have found themselves incarcerated or in the system. And the reason why I wanted to have this workshop is kind of tying in with the money that the state of Idaho has spent to develop these resource centers. The one that Marco talked about, Spark, is one of these centers, and it was based off of the work that the director in Clark County, Nevada is doing. It's called Harbor, and what it's basically doing is, instead of incarcerating our kids, is taking these kids and their families and wrapping them in services, wrapping them in so many services that they have nothing but ways to find success. And referring back to the work that Ray did, it was kind of one of these preliminary things where he used a lot of these tactics, the service wrapping, and the way we talk to youth and the way we deal with certain situations. So we're going to have tentatively, it's looking like August 17th. We're going to have an online webinar, and Ray's going to be giving us that information. We're going to have a flyer and signups coming up here in the next few days, so keep your eye out for that. But you guys can tentatively mark on the 17th that we're going to have that webinar, and we are going to record that. So if for some reason you cannot make that date, we will be able to have that to where you can go back to and watch that after the fact. So that's one of the nice things about working with Ray, is he doesn't mind us recording his workshops and sharing them back out with the rest of you guys. So that's an opportunity that made itself available about half hour before I jumped on to the meeting. So other than that, our next meeting will be August 1st from 11 to 12:30, Zoom link. If you have any ideas for the agenda, I'm open to hear them. I was hoping for the mini training session that some of the kids who did the workshop in Boise and kids who went to Idaho, if they would be willing to come on and tell us a little bit about their experience and what they got out of it. I know, Natasha, you said your kids came back so fired up that you guys got programming developed out of it. So if I'm going to reach out to Amber Pace over in Salmon, but if anybody has youth that want to come on and give us a couple minutes of kind of what they got out of both or either training, I would really like to, because we don't get a whole lot of chances to integrate our youth into these meetings because of the time. So I figured kids aren't back at school yet, August 1st. So if we could grab a couple of those youth, maybe Grace could have a couple of ambassadors or somebody. We just have some, I would love to hear more about these workshops so that we could really pinpoint the importance of this work and the benefits that come out of it. So that was kind of my brainstorming idea for August.
I actually love that idea.
Great. Well, I'm going to be leaning on you and your kids. So, all right. Does anybody have anything else, or can we get a motion to adjourn?
David, I would
Yes.
just like to say just a couple things. I just got back from National Convention, and we have partnered again with the DEA on Operation Prevention. And we've also, our theme this year is One Pill Can Kill. So we're going to have a essay, poster, and video contest. We are going to do a kickoff in October for Red Ribbon Week up in Idaho City with David Gomez. I've got another speaker that I'd like to introduce next month, Dr. Heather. Also, anybody that's interested in getting ready to come, I have funding for that, and I can help with that. So please let me know. We'd like to be a part of that. Let's see, the Kiki Camarena Awards are nominations. I'm sorry, the Enrique Camarena nominations are coming out next month. So if you have any law enforcement people that you would like to nominate that does work in prevention with the kids, I would love to give you the information and you can nominate them for the award. Our national was Jermaine Galloway, and we have been able to celebrate him every year. David Gomez was our state award winner this year. So give me your name and I'll send you the information on that. And that's all I have for right now.
Hey, Susie, quick question. Who's your contact person with the DEA on your operation?
Sean Farms.
Do you have his contact information?
I do.
Can you post it in the chat? That'd be awesome.
I got to find his card.
Okay.
I have it. I just have to get his card. It's here in my desk somewhere.
This is what I'll do. I'll put my email in there. If you can write my email down, just email it to me. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have anything? Okay, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
For a second?
Second, this is Kendall.
Tatum, seconds.
Kendall beat you to it, Natasha.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, everyone have a great week and let us know if you need anything. Did you get those emails, Susie? I can't hear you because you're muted.
Sorry, I've got a couple things to pull out of the chat, so maybe we'll end the recording in a minute, but then I might not end the meeting just so I can grab a couple things. I had a lot of people messaging me in the chat.
All right, I'm gonna end the recording.